Hey, how's it going? It's John again. I am playing a new game. I'm playing Daily Walkoff this evening. Was introduced to it from the Ordinary Effort guys. We're doing their live stream on Friday, and they were debuting it with the people who built this game. I thought it was really cool. I've played it quite a few times since then. So I thought I'd play it here for the Brewers for today's game. So it's the same categories for all the teams on a given day, but then with some slight nuances I've learned. Um, but then all the players are different. You can move them around, but there's only one solution. So I think there's only one solution. Anyway, I'll try it for the Brewers. Really do like this game a lot because and they're not paying me or anything like that. I really am just enjoying it. The basic idea here is that I'm not going to actually time it. Basic idea here is that you need to make the people work. I'll start with the Brewers just because that's the team I know best. Um, and you get these, I guess, 12 players, and you're moving them to the categories they work on. Some players will work for multiple categories, but I think there's only going to be one way to ever completely solve the grid. I am playing on pro mode. I think the difference is it tells you where your mistakes are if you're not in pro mode. But yeah, we can get into it. I won't time it. I'll just play the Brewers. This is who I should know best, and we'll go from there. Um, so right off the bat, we got 1970s top five home runs. Mainly played relief pitcher, played on at least six teams, debuted with Milwaukee. So that's an interesting one. So right off the bat, I see my guy Jeremy Burnett's my favorite player growing up. Got to stand next to him for the national anthem on a game against the Cardinals in September of 1998. Jeremy Burnitz did not play in the 1970s. He was not a relief pitcher. He was a right fielder. And he did not debut with Milwaukee. He debuted with the New York Mets and was acquired from the Cleveland Indians in exchange for Kevin Seitzer. So he is going to definitely go here. And I think that checks out. Mets, Indians, Brewers, back to the Mets. So still at three. Dodgers? Cubs, Rockies, Pirates. I'm counting seven teams for Jeremy Burnett's from my recollection. So we can lock that one in. Um, Don Money, I know, debuted with Philadelphia and was not a reliever. He did play for the Brewers in the 1970s, so he's got to work there. Now, here's where this is interesting. Gorman Thomas is almost certainly 1970s top five home runs. He had 45 home runs in the 1979 season. I think he was upper 30s in the 1978 season. Brewers didn't have a whole lot of sluggers back in those days. I gotta believe he works here. But then he also would work over here. I'm pretty sure he started his career at the Brewers and later I think played for Cleveland and Seattle. Um, but he would work here too. And debuted with Milwaukee is not like that rare a thing. I don't know this player very well. Oops, moved it over. But that was actually my inclination was I don't know this player very well or at all. Like just vaguely, I think I've heard of this guy. I think that means he was probably played in the 70s. That's going to be my guess for now. Keston Hira. That one we can say very reliably is going to be over here because he played in the 20 teens, into the early 2020s. I think he's only played for the Brewers that I know of. So I think he can go here. Dave Burba definitely did not debut with the Brewers. I think Burba has been both a starter and a reliever. So he maybe goes there. Pierce Strzelecki, I'm pretty sure is a reliever. Assuming Alberto Reyes is the player I remember is Al Reyes. I don't remember him being called Alberto. Um, but I'm perfectly willing to believe that was his real name. Um, late 90s reliever for the Brewers. Sat at man for a bit in there, I think. Um, so definitely a reliever. Don't remember if he debuted for the Brewers. Um, say Jake Cousins, I think is in that category for sure. And then Jose Cabrera, definitely relief pitcher. Don't think he debuted for the Brewers. I think I've got it. I think these guys are all relievers. These guys, Briggs, I'm kind of this is not a name I'm terribly familiar with as a lifelong Brewer fan. Randy Wolf, I'm pretty yeah, Randy Wolf's not going to work anywhere else. He was a starting pitcher. He didn't play in the 1970s. He wasn't a hitter, and he didn't debut with Milwaukee. He debuted with Philadelphia. And I believe he hits the Padres, Astros, Phillies, Brewers, um, Dodgers, I want to say. So that's 5 or 6 teams, but he's got to work there. So I think this is where we're going to lock it in. Let's take our swing and we'll see if we got it, and then we'll see if we have to adjust it. Ooh, we have to adjust. Okay, so something wasn't right. Something wasn't right here. So I guess they're going to call. So we know we've only got one correct here, and we've got two correct on each of these. I'm very confident on these two. Dave Burba, they must be calling a reliever. All these guys are relievers. So, and I think if I recall, it tells you which ones you've got wrong if you're not in pro mode. So now I've moved him over, but I've still got one wrong here, I think. Um, question is which of these guys has been around the block? Maybe like that? And maybe Al Reyes didn't actually debut with the Brewers? Nope. Still only 2 for 3. I have 0 outs. Feels like I should have a couple outs at this point. Is Jake Cousins a reliever? Maybe we move Al Reyes back over here and we'll flip these two. All right, so now we're getting closer. I still have no outs. I guess that's what I guess because I've got some people. This is the team I know best, by the way. This is the team by far I know best. Al Reyes, let's see. I'm simply not going to move off of this. So Matt Wise must be over here. That's pretty much got to be it at this point. I think I've tried everything else. Yeah. So I guess Al Riss, or maybe it was a different guy, but played for a lot more teams. Gives you this kind of similar to Wardle. Remember that? Um, yeah, it's a fun game. Um, tell me how you do your favorite team. Tell me how you do. And thanks to the guys from Ordinary Effort for putting this on, but or for introducing me to this game, and thanks to the guys for Daily Walkoff for making such a an awesome user-friendly game. Didn't do so hot on this one with my favorite team. But I'll play some other teams. I'll see if I can do better than the team I know best. Probably won't, but anyway, thanks a lot for playing, and we'll be back at it with more. Peace.